So our next question comes from Alicia D on Instagram. Alicia says, "Good evening. I feel like I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum from a lot of the situations that you guys read on these Q&A episodes. I was financially successful, but I had an unfortunate series of events that took place over the last couple of years, and I've lost a lot of money. At the moment, I'm working 2 jobs, bringing in roughly $450 a week. I have 3 children. I have $2,100 in my savings, $150 invested on Robinhood, $120 invested on Fundrise, and my current bills are $600 a month for rent, $90 for weekly babysitting, $90 a month for my phone, $75 for weekly groceries, and my credit score is about 500. I would really like to not only increase my credit score, but be able to live on my own again. Any advice you guys can share for me to start building wealth would be very much appreciated." Alicia, I am so sorry to hear about your situation, but if you did it in the past and you were able to get yourself into an awesome situation before, I'm determined and hopeful you can do it again, right? There is nothing that you are not capable of. You just have to have some people, hold your hand along the way, and we're here to provide as much guidance that we possibly can. So you're 27 years old. You mentioned that you're working 2 jobs, bringing in roughly $450 a week. That is not enough. So Alicia, 2 jobs, $450 a week. I don't know how many hours you're working, but you need to be working 50, 60, 70-hour weeks. The math here tells me you might be working 25 to 35 hours a week, and maybe there's a situation with the kids that is, causing that to happen. But if you are going to get out of this, your income is going to be the tool that helps you. Having a big income, let's call it $1,000 or $1,200 a week, $1,500 a week, right? By working crazy like a mad person, that's what's going to allow you now to buffer up your savings, get a deposit for an apartment, maybe pay off some lingering bills, maybe get in a better situation when it comes to your monthly expenses and your groceries. And finally, you mentioned moving out from your family. So there's a lot that can happen by getting your monthly income back up. And again, $450 a week working 2 jobs. I don't know your specific situation because you didn't tell us more, but if I'm working 2 jobs, I'm working 30 to 40 hours a week at each job, which means at $15 an hour, let's say 70 hours get worked, it's $1,050 top line, call it $800 a week after taxes. That doubles your income immediately, which could really help push you in the right direction. The next thing I would want you to do is you do not need to be investing. You are in crisis mode. This is not investing mode, right? You invest after you've got your financial foundation built and you're in a good routine. Right now, it seems like you're really struggling to make ends meet. So if I were you, I would get out of the Robinhood, I'd get out of the Fundrise and any other investments you have and use that money to care for your family. You mentioned you have $2,100 in savings. Maybe that $2,100 needs to be used to pay off old credit cards that have caused your credit score to be at 500. You mentioned you want to increase your credit score, figure out why it's that low, if it's unpaid bills or expenses or credit cards, whatever's going on there. And then, of course, either settle them, make sure you get that settlement in writing, or pay them off, or figure out whatever has to go on behind the scenes to ensure that black eye of sorts is off your credit report. Then you start building your credit. You got a good credit score now. You're making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month in income. And now we're back to a place where we're moving in the right direction. Robert, what did I miss and what advice do you have for Alicia?
Yeah, this is a tough situation. 3 kids, living with the family. I get it. But at the end of the day, she has 2 things going for her. Age, young, so she can work around the clock if need be to get out of this situation. A family for support to help her to keep the childcare costs down. But I would say 2 things are what I would add. Number 1, I would take, like Austin said, the money out of Robinhood and Fundrise. I would go to the bank with $200 or $300 and I would open a guaranteed credit card. That is the fastest way you can get your credit built back up. And that's what I would do, because if you get that guaranteed credit card, it's going to start reporting right away, because right now with a 500 credit score, you're not going to qualify for a traditional credit card. Secondarily, I would look online for someone that has a service. You can buy a service very inexpensively to help you get all of the bad credit items that you can removed from your credit report as soon as possible. That would help. And then number 3, something that could help you along the way to get that income up, look for an online side hustle. If you're any good online and you're good around a computer, Find a side hustle where you can make $100, $200, $300 extra a week from home so you can spend time with your children, but also get the income up. Something Austin and I have been saying for years is for people that are struggling, you either have an income problem, a spending problem, or both, and you're in this scenario right now. You're living frugally somewhat, but you're not making nearly enough money, and that needs to get changed right away.
And Alicia, we've been talking about Chipotle as a place for people to work for a while now. Research tells me, and again, I don't know the specifics here, so please take this with a grain of salt. Research, though, says you can make about $14 an hour starting out as just a crew member. You must be at least 16 years old, have a friendly, enthusiastic attitude, passion for helping people. They have tuition assistance, so if you want to go back to school or go to school, they have 100% coverage for select degrees up to $5,250 a year. You get free food. They have medical, dental, and vision insurance. They also have 401k matching. Chipotle, they're doing pretty good for their service members, their crew members here, and you can work your way up to become a service manager, making $20 to $25 an hour. I really, really firmly believe there's a world where you can make between $14 and $18 an hour, go work 30, 40, 50 hours a week on that specific job. And then because Robert called out your age being 27, you have nothing but green grass and blue skies ahead of you. It just comes down to, again, leaning on the family to watch over the kids as often as possible while you are away at working, and being in a season of your life, realizing that this isn't going to be your reality forever. You are not going to be working 80 hours a week, 2 jobs for the rest of your life. This might be a 6-month or a 9-month or a 12-month season where you're trying to claw your way out of some of this debt, pay off some of these old bills, beef up a savings account from $2,000 to $10,000 to $20,000, right? But get yourself in a situation where you see light at the end of the tunnel, you have a plan, and you have a clear goal to achieve, right? That's all you have to do, and then go lock in on that for the next 6, 9, 12 months, and we promise there's going to be a world where you fast forward 1 year, 2 years, 3 years from now, and your reality is completely different. You are going to have a ton in your emergency fund. You're going to be investing. Your kids are going to be successful in school. They're going to have everything they need. Like, you are going to be an awesome mom. And we know you're doing that already. You're working so hard. So we're rooting for you, Alicia. And thank you so much for listening to the show.